Are you struggling with an addiction? Constantly relapsing again and again and always feeling worse about yourself? The thing is that you're not missing inspiration or motivation or some new hacks. You're missing the right method to easily quit any addiction, and that's what you're going to learn in this video. Back in the 70s, Dutch biologist Nicolaas Tinbergen discovered that multiple animals could be deceived into intensely desiring fake objects over their natural counterparts. See, female birds have an instinct to sit on their eggs to keep them warm to make sure that their chicks develop properly. Nicolaas wanted to test how real this instinct was by introducing fake eggs that were bigger, brighter, and with more spots than the average female egg. Surprisingly, the female birds abandoned their natural eggs to sit on those extremely exciting eggs. Another experiment involved male beetles. See, male beetles have the same instinct for reproduction as humans. This means that they want to mate with the most attractive female beetle they can find. The only catch is that they don't know how to differentiate whether the female beetles are real or not. When Nicolaas introduced an empty beer bottle into a cage full of sexually receptive female beetles, he found that the males completely forgot about the females in favor of the empty beer bottle. To a male beetle, a beer bottle lying on the ground looks like the biggest, most beautiful, sexiest female he has ever seen. Another experiment discovered that monkeys would sacrifice juice rewards, which is something that they really like, to view images of female monkey bottoms. All these experiments showed that the animal response to stimuli doesn't stop at a sweet spot, nor does it respond exclusively to natural stimuli. Instead, this response to stimuli continues to trigger enthusiastic responses to unrealistic, synthetic, and exaggerated stimuli. These responses to exaggerated versions of reality are referred to as supernormal stimuli. A supernormal stimulus is an exaggerated version of a stimulus to which there is an existence-response tendency. The response varies according to the stimulus properties like size, color, or shape. The more exaggerated these properties are, the greater the attraction an organism will feel towards them. This means that when offered an artificially exaggerated stimulus, animals will show behavior in favor of the artificial stimulus over the naturally occurring one. That's why birds, beetles, and monkeys end up preferring fake objects such as fake eggs, beer bottles, and butts on a screen over their real counterparts. Humans also respond to supernormal stimuli. When we are presented with two options, we will always choose the exaggerated version over the real one. This is because we are wired to prefer whatever stimulates us the most. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. What matters is how much it excites us, and there's a reason for that. The human brain's number one goal is to ensure the survival and increased reproductive fitness of current and later generations. Its job is to convince you to take the actions necessary to keep life going in this planet. Life needs multiple elements like food, water, sexual relationships, entertainment, and so on. Your brain will reward you every time you engage in a behavior that ensures the survival of your genes. If you engage in sex, then you get a reward. If you find delicious food, then you get a reward. The only problem is that your brain can't distinguish whether your behavior was real and healthy or if it was fake and detrimental. A normal healthy stimulus is having sex with an attractive human being. A supernormal stimulus is getting off to a screen full of sexually exaggerated performers. A normal and healthy stimulus is preparing a delicious steak. A supernormal stimulus is eating fast food. The thing is that all these behaviors will trigger a reward, and this is the problem. Why? Because your brain will always come back to whatever feels pleasurable. It doesn't matter if it's real, fake, healthy, or unhealthy. This is due to a molecule called dopamine. If you want to go further into your study of how dopamine works, I highly suggest you check out this video I made. It's a complete guide to dopamine, and it will teach you everything you need to know about it. I will leave the link in the description box below. Your brain associates pleasure with something that's good for your survival process. The issue is that most of the time, supernormal stimuli are counterproductive and end up creating the total opposite effect of what your brain is rewarding you for. In essence, a supernormal stimulus rewards you for things that are not even real, which then most likely will create addictions to these substances. One of the main reasons why addictions are so hard to quit is that every supernormal stimulus creates levels of pleasure that are impossible to find elsewhere. This is also why your brain gets hooked to a particular substance, especially if it's a supernormal stimulus. TV shows are exaggerated versions of the average person's real life. We all experience some drama in our life, but never at the height of our favorite Netflix show. We all experience some happiness in our life, but never at the height of your favorite comedy series. TV shows are exaggerated versions of everyone's daily life. People prefer to watch others' lives than to live out their own. Another example of a supernormal stimulus is pornography. The actors are selected according to their physical features. They have the biggest this or the smallest that, and the features go on and on. In addition, porn provides insatiable novelty. Every time you go from video to video, your brain thinks you are going from real woman to real woman. This explains why it feels so pleasurable. Having intercourse with one person is extremely pleasurable, but having it with multiple persons in a short amount of time drives your pleasure response to extreme levels. This programs your brain to prefer a screen over any real woman. There are thousands, if not millions of cases where men can't get it up to a real woman. Why? Because a screen is way sexier, at least according to their brain. Jokes aside, humans are not that different from the male beetles that prefer a beer bottle over a female beetle. The only difference is that humans prefer a screen, not a bottle. The next common example of a supernormal stimulus is junk food. Humans are wired to love salty, sweet, crunchy, and greasy food. These foods tend to be packed with calories and taste good. Companies know this and they take advantage of it by engineering their food so that it feels as pleasurable as possible. Just think of the average chips. They are salty, crunchy, greasy, and the package is super attractive. It's no wonder that millions of people are addicted to this even though they are not real. And again, a supernormal stimulus tricks people to prefer the fake over the real. People are hooked on fake engineered food over real food that comes from the ground. There are lots of other supernormal stimuli like alcohol, social media, the internet, dating apps, video games, and so on. Let's talk about how you can apply this knowledge to quit any addiction fast. The first step to quit any addiction is to get rid of every single supernormal stimulus you currently have in your life. We like to think of ourselves as humans as super intelligent creatures that know how to differentiate what's good for us from what's bad. But this is not the case. If it were, people would not be addicted to the substances I have mentioned in this video. People are wasting their life by watching other people's lives on TV. People are destroying their intimate relationships by consuming porn. People are destroying their health by eating junk food. If you're serious about quitting any addiction, there should not be any room for supernormal stimuli in your life. These things are so pleasurable that the chances of getting hooked on them when they are present are just too high for our vulnerable brain. In addition, it's super important to sensitize your brain again to the real sources of pleasure. You should help your brain enjoy again the pleasures that can only be found in real life. This will help you control your behavior in less time. For that reason, the best approach to any addiction is to first get rid of everything that's not real and that stimulates your brain to extreme levels. Also, let's clarify that TV, junk food, video games, and so on are not bad, they are just supernormal stimuli. And if you're struggling with compulsive behavior, the best thing is to remove them from your life. It's not about moral righteousness, it's about your well-being. So, if you find yourself addicted to TV and series, a good strategy is to cancel your streaming subscriptions and sell your TV. You also need to sensitize your brain again. In this case, it could be by creating a more exciting life. Do things that interest you and that make you feel more alive. Because in the end, this is what you're looking for in TV. If you find yourself addicted to porn, a good strategy is to install a blocker and delete all your social media apps. You should also sensitize your brain to real life by meeting new people you are romantically interested in. If you find yourself addicted to junk food, stop buying fast food and stop consuming chips and snacks. Sensitize your brain again by buying and cooking real and tasty food. If you find yourself struggling to get your behavior under control, make sure to check out this video I made. There, I reveal the fastest way to easily become more disciplined without effort. If this video provided you with value, please leave a good thumbs up to support the channel.